me.
Imagine you're at an amusement park and you see this really cool roller coaster. The roller coaster looks fun and amazing and you decide to go on it. But right as you're about to go on a big drop, the ride stops and breaks down. And you exit the park in shame while walking by a bunch of Final Fantasy cosplay. That's what it's like watching Amnesia, an anime that has absolutely nothing to do with the fantastically developed game Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Was I expecting an anime about the game? No, but to make matters worse, Amnesia the anime is based on the game as well. It's different because no one has ever heard of it. Enough backstory, it's plot time. Amnesia follows an unnamed heroine who has no memory, if you could not figure it out by the title of the show. She is then visited by 5 boys who all have the personality of G.I. Joe figures and wonders how she is involved with them in any way, shape, or form. She is then told by a spirit named Orion, I am not spoiling anything here, this is literally in the first episode, that he collided with her spirit and which caused the heroine to have no memories. And now it is up to her and only her to find out who she was and what her goal in life was. I gotta admit, my first impressions on the show were actually pretty good. I like the premise of a person trying to find a way to get their memories back and she is unable to tell anyone she has amnesia. It's pretty cool. I know it's an overused cliche in mysteries, but Amnesia the anime seemed like it would take a fantasy approach and would get more strange and interesting very on. I also thought that Orion would help her and act like a less annoying version of Navi. So you might think to yourself, Nick, this doesn't sound so bad. Why are you too hard on the show in the first place? Well, you see, the big problem with Amnesia, the animated series not related to The Dark Descent or A Machine for Pigs, is that I actually watched it. It was terrible. First off, the show goes from the Bourne Identity to the Battle Roulette, and now there is absolutely nothing wrong with a little romance here and there, if the characters are good and the chemistry works right. Well, that's another problem. These characters suck! Our heroine, who has no name and is never mentioned throughout the show, has no emotion to anything. Yeah, she is nervous because of the situation she is in, but she barely reacts to anything. She's just like, to everything. I mean, come on, girl, you're not even that shocked. Show at least some emotion. She's not the worst character, but you know who is? The fake plastic androids that she calls boys. I stated before that these boys she meets have the personality of action figures. Well, who are they, you may ask? Well, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Ikkyu, the chick magnet who no matter how many girls he's around, he only picks the one who has earned protagonist rights. Shin, the emo who wears tiny belts on his neck in the hopes that he chokes on them to death. Kent, the I'm so smart that I am too evolved to make human emotion. Ukko, who is just there. Toma, the only character who is the least worst of the bunch because he at least tries to make some kind of human emotion in his dull character. I mean, he even smiles all the time instead of just making the same blank, boring stare like everyone else. But for all the emotion his face is working its balls off to convey to the viewer, his voice actor begs to differ and phones it in. This leads me to my next gripe I have with the show. The voice acting is just so freaking dull. These are some good actors you got. Well, except for Tyler Galindo. He wasn't really good until Akame got killed. No hard feelings, dude. I can already hear the elite weeaboos typing in the comments. Oh, Nick, don't watch the English dub, and if the voices suck, just watch the sub version. It's superior to everything. You know that argument does not help the show's favor. Yeah, you can change the language on House of the Dead in the language settings and put on English subtitles so you won't pay attention to the shitty acting, but just because you change the language on a film or TV show doesn't affect the quality. I can watch the subbed version of Amnesia so I won't have to happen to witness the disappointing performances of great actors, but I am still watching a terrible show regardless of what language it is in. Same turd, different language, people. Well, I can't blame the voice actors for their poor performance, so we'll just stick it up to the creator. Alright, Tyler Jones, tell me why you should not get hit with this critic bat. Kino's Journey, No Game No Life, and Air Gear, those dubs were pretty good. Well, Air Gear was no Cowboy Bebop, but it was still decent. Anyways, back on topic, Jones only realized what he was working with after watching the show or looking at the script he was given, and he thought to himself he may as well put as much effort into the dub as the studio did into making the show. So he assembled whoever he could find and just told the actors to do whatever they wanted. But enough about defending and slightly attacking English dubs, I still have things to harp on. Going back to the character Toma, he is also a part-time kidnapper as he is constantly keeping our heroine in a cage, because he believes everything wants to kill her. Well, you should have kept the cage more secure, Tom old pal, because our heroine dies a lot, but not really. Throughout the story, she ends up in an alternate universe of some sort where she is in love with a different fake plastic boy. I'll admit, it was kind of interesting that every time she dies, she goes into a different universe where she is in love with someone else. I thought the mystery would go deeper with this kind of situation, but nope, it only makes things more convoluted. And you know that thing I mentioned earlier where she can't tell anyone she has amnesia? Well, two of the characters figure it out and they just help her more as opposed to just causing harm. One of them even notices Orion's existence. And remember how I said Orion might be like Na'vi but less annoying? Well, he is fairly useless. He doesn't do shit. He doesn't appear sometimes. Did he have jury duty or something? Orion is arguably the most useless character to ever appear in an anime, ever. He's not even killed off or anything. He's just not appearing and not being there. In the end of the show, he explains he's sorry for being useless and not a big help. And the heroine responds, "Oh, that's okay, you did fine." Really? If I were the heroine, I would have been like, where the f*** were you when I needed you, or where you could have been? I was nearly killed in almost every situation I've been in, and you were just sitting on the sidelines jerking off while I was trying to figure out what the heck is going on, and who the heck I am. Thanks for nothing, you piece of shit. Amnesia is all build up but no conclusion. It has no actual answers to any of the questions it gives you. Its mysteries are forever mysteries by being very vague and having our aforementioned heroine not question anything at all. I mean, she literally goes, "What is happening?" And I respond with, "I don't freaking know!" And if Orion is by her side, he'd all be like, I am surprised that I managed to grind through all 12 episodes of this cesspool of an anime. I only continue because it's a mystery show, and in the end of all mysteries, it should have a satisfying conclusion that ties everything up, am I right? Well, I saw the last episode and it tried to explain things, and after finishing it all up, I still had no idea what happened or what the mystery was. I don't want to spoil too much, but Amnesia just sort of ends. Yeah, everything is resolved, but just ended with no real conclusion. For 12 episodes, this show really felt like a 24 episode what fest, with terrible characters, a convoluted story, and a slightly neat little art style. The art style is a bit appealing as it almost reassembles what happens if you took No Gave No Life, removed a little bit of the glowing and the Madhouse style look, and lowered the opacity on the gradient layers. Furthermore, I also do kind of like how the iris of the character's eyes are drawn. It is simplistic when you look at it closely, and a bit different when compared to most anime eyes. Just draw a little macaroni shaped thingy, add a dot in the center, shade it a bit, add a white sparkle, and presto, you're an artist. But this gold star I give it is immediately taken away as I remember that just because you look pretty doesn't mean you'll be good. Video games have known that for quite a while. So yeah, Amnesia, very, very forgettable. How forgettable is it? What are we talking about again?